Alright, good evening, y'all. A little bit of a different format today. It's Foodie Jules here. Not really doing any food reviews. I guess if I'm reviewing my own food, I made some homemade dumplings. They're kind of falling apart. I'm a bit of an amateur at wrapping, but I wanted to do a new format today. Trying out a mukbang series, kind of where I just, I know, eat and talk, kind of have like some discursive rants, I guess, or I don't know, not necessarily rants, but I'm just experimenting with this format. Gonna try some of my dumplings. The skin fell off of this guy. It's basically pork and leek, a little bit of garlic, a little bit of ginger, soy, sesame, typical dumpling flavor. Let's give it a try. I'm happy with the result. It's falling apart. Has one criticism, but it tastes good. The frozen ones are actually not as cheap as you think. It's much more affordable to make your own. This is a good looking one. Yeah, it's almost winter, and well, not really. It's kind of in the thick of fall in here in the Northwest, so it's been kind of rainy lately. The days are super short now. With the time change, it's just like basically your whole day at work is like you spend all your daylight hours at work, and so like you barely see the sun. It's kind of sad, like especially with the time change. You go home, you leave, the sun is just about coming up. At least when I leave, I catch a shuttle to work, and then I go home and it's dark. And yeah, it is. It's a little tough. I think the sunlight definitely affects me a lot. I've noticed over the years, kind of living in the Northwest and coming originally from Texas, right? You're not as far north, so the days aren't as long in the summer, but they aren't as short in the winter too, which is kind of like a big thing. But yeah, just kind of want to see how this goes with this format. I think, um, yeah, I don't know. Not sure what to talk about. I think work has been kind of the usual. Like we operate on cycles. Like I work in tech. We're kind of in the middle of planning stuff right now, and so part of that is kind of like, at least for me, I lead a team. I'm trying to suss out what we're going to work on next year, iron out like a solidified plan, which is a little bit. There's always those stresses with planning, but it's nothing too crazy. Um, there's something about dumplings, I think, super comforting, especially when it's cold outside like today. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think it feels like time is going by so fast. I did turn. I entered into my 30s this year. Um, I definitely don't feel that much different. If anything, this year just kind of feels like last year, just about. I think, yeah, it's like, I think when you're young, right, like things are pretty exciting and new, and yeah, like there's a lot more hanging out, like in your early 20s, just kind of reflecting back, early mid 20s, when I first finished school. Um, yeah, it's like, it's interesting. It definitely feels like a much more quiet time of my life um, right now. I think that's just an artifact of, friends come and move, like friends, like the friends you make in college, they usually move away, or at least that's how it kind of played out for my friend group. Um, like people are at the age where it's kind of like, uh, I don't know, kind of start settling down, you know, long-term partner or married, maybe kids. I don't. None of my friends have kids yet, but they might come eventually. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to say. It's been a pretty well. The beginning of the year was kind of crazy. I think I'm really glad to be gainfully employed right now. That was a huge stress, I think, in the beginning, and kind of one of the reasons I wanted to start the channel is like, you know, maybe one day I could turn this into a secondary source of income, which it's not right now. But yeah, I think it's scary times in the corporate world. I think, you know, like these opinions are not of my employer, of course, but like, I don't know, layoffs suck, and just having the fear of the axe over your head is not a great feeling. That being said, I'm very thankful for um, how things are right now. I think I have a good manager. I have a good team right now, which I'm very happy with. Um, like it's typical work stresses, but nothing like crazy. So overall, nothing too much to complain about work wise. I think you spend a lot of your time in college just kind of like, or at least when I did, I was always so worried about, um, getting here, and maybe it's like so easy to say now that I kind of met most of the career goals I had set when I was younger. Um, but yeah, nothing to complain about in terms of work. Um, I think yeah, just kind of the normal Seattle stuff. Yeah, I live in the Northwest. Kind of outed myself. I live in Seattle Metro. Just the typical troubles that, um, at least, well, not everyone has troubles, but like, I feel like typical troubles I'm dealing with this year are nothing really, I think, out of the ordinary. I think the experience that I think it's probably similar to a lot of people. And that, of course, I always complain to my friends. Thank you for being patient. And my family is kind of just dating. Dating is, I don't know. It feels like a Wild West, Wild West out here sometimes. And like, it's been like it comes in. Sorry, I feel like comes in fits and spurts sometimes. I think like I don't know. There will be long times I don't really meet anyone new. Then I suddenly meet a bunch of people at the same time. I think that was kind of what happened last year. Nothing really came out of it. And mom and dad, if you're watching, or any of my family, like I just don't mention these because they're not really significant. I'm not trying to add more scrutiny to my life, more stress to my life. But yeah, it's kind of like there are pains with that. I think a lot of the things in your life. I'm like making a mess with the dumpling sauce. A lot of the things in your life, you have like a pretty good, or at least I'm thinking career wise, school wise, at least for me, like you have a lot of control over that kind of outcome. Like, and there, of course, there's always an element of luck involved. I think with school, it was a little more. There is some luck in school too, but a lot of it is, you put in the work, you get a reward out of it. At least for me, I didn't really have too much trouble. I know some people might have more trouble in school, right? But that was a pretty straightforward endeavor when I was young. Like getting a job, that was a little less straightforward, and I agree. There was definitely a lot of luck. Excuse me. There's a lot of luck, kind of like getting a job, especially the tech market now is like crazy. Like you look at the questions that they ask entry levels now compared to like when I graduated. It's insane. Like there just seems to be like an arms race in terms of the difficulty. I know people will just grind lead code all day if you're a software engineer. Questions just keep getting more innovative or harder, and like you know, it's not a great litmus test necessarily. I mean people have debates on you want the kind of people who put in the effort to grind lead code and to be able to at least do that level of problem solving, but it's getting ridiculous. And I'm not speaking for my employer. I'm just speaking for the industry as a whole and kind of the anecdotes I hear. If you read like Blind, you're gonna hear all sorts of stuff. Finished dumplings. That was pretty good. But yeah, yeah, dating, man. Dating is like kind of not so great. I think that is the one sore spot. I think, in an otherwise pretty good life. Like I think, I met my at least my short term career goals that I set when I was younger. I think it's just a matter of leaning into kind of progressing in my career. I'm happy like working in tech. I think the dating part though, dating is just like it's been at the back of my mind for a while now, and I think with it doesn't necessarily get easier when you're older. I think it gets easier in the sense that I think when you're young, or at least when I was young, like I was definitely a lot more self conscious. I still am, I think, pretty self conscious as a person, but yeah, I don't know. It's like I haven't cracked the mystery of how to meet new people. I think I try to engage in after work events. You can kind of meet people through work. That's people have their debates on whether that's a good or bad idea, and probably maybe not necessarily always a great idea. There's like hobbies. I mean, if you like climbing here in Seattle, it's probably a good way to meet people too. Um, yeah, it's really easy to be a homebody these days. Like there's a part of me that definitely is kind of looking for that level of I think connection that you don't usually get. Maybe save for like a really close friendship, which of course takes time to develop. And like a relationship like dating or kind of one that's serious and leading to marriage. At least in my mind, a lot of people here get together. They're not married, but I would like to get married one day. Like to be honest with my intentions. I think, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I haven't cracked that code. But yeah, it's tricky. Like I don't know. I don't know. Excuse me. Can't really put my finger on it. It's like a lot of things in life you can kind of with determination and putting in the legwork, it'll get you very far. And I think you do that too with dating, of course. So you have to show up. You have to put yourself out there. Like you have to go and meet people. But you can't will. Like a lot of it is out of your control, and I think that's something I've struggled with over the years. It's just like I don't know. It feels very uncertain on how finding a partner is going to wash out. I think in the statistically, I know in some sense I'm probably going to find a partner, but I don't know. I worry sometimes. I think a lot of guys my age, who are still single, still unattached, they kind of worry about that stuff. Or they could be happy bachelors too. I guess I'm a sad bachelor. Maybe not a sad bachelor, or maybe I am a sad bachelor. But yeah, it's pretty tricky. Man, I clean out the dumplings. I'm just kind of like going stream of consciousness on this mukbang to begin with. Kind of just throwing myself out there. But yeah, I figured there's a lot of folks who can relate to this situation. You know, guys, gals. I don't know. I think social media is kind of and all like the apps, like the dating apps, online stuff. It's kind of poisoned things to be in a way. And I don't know, distorted expectations. I think maybe my expectations are distorted in a way too. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It just it's just the paradox to like online connection. Like here we are, just a hop and a skip. Not really hop and a skip, but just it's so easy to reach out to people. But like at the same time, we're a lot more disconnected as people now than what was before. Yeah, I still kind of want some more food. I think the thing with dumplings is you eat a bunch, but you still want like I don't know. I feel like I need meat or like something satisfying. So I think I'm gonna go to the fridge. I'll be right back to get some cheese, maybe some cheese. But yeah, it's like, what do you do? What do you do? Dating is like one of those enigmas I cannot seem to crack. Some people have cracked it. Some people have gotten really lucky. I think, yeah, with a lot of things in life, got a little bit of brie here. I love brie. This is my favorite. Brie is one of my favorite cheeses of all time. With a lot of things in life, it feels like just luck, like dumb luck sometimes. But yeah, comment below if you feel you're in a similar boat. I mean, sometimes in my life it feels like I'm the only one going through this struggle, but definitely that's not true. I think there's a lot of folks who can relate. But yeah, man, I love brie. This is really good. But yeah, aside from that, just kind of closing out the year. Again, it just kind of feels like 2023 was just like 2022 in some sense. Other senses not. I feel like I guess mom or dad or close friends if you're watching like I did. Or I don't know. My extended family. Yeah, I did meet someone who I thought was like pretty special in terms of just dating as a person, in terms of connection. But yeah, like of course it didn't work out. I didn't bother telling most people about it because it didn't work out. There's no point in kind of talking about it in that sense in my mind. Yeah, a little more brie, a lot of brie. But yeah, honestly, that was pretty sad. I'm still kind of recovering from it, but there's not much you can do but move forward. Again, like with relationships, you can't really will things into existence on your own by your own will. I think there's always that element of another person with dreams and aspirations, fears, hopes, their own traumas, maybe their own reservations too. I think I hate the cliche, but I think timing does matter a lot. But by nature of the timing being not right, they're not the right person. I think, and I think that's something oftentimes as people, living in modern society today, you just kind of have to come to terms with. I think, yeah, I don't know what else to say. But yeah, you can probably tell the relationship stuff's on my mind. I need to be more social. It's literally Saturday night when I'm recording this. I'm sitting at home eating dumplings and brie. What a combination, right? But yeah, I definitely need to be more social. I think I just really don't feel like it. I'm just like, you come home after a busy week of work. Like sometimes you just want to chill, and I think this is the time for me to chill at home and just recover. And I always feel pressure. Like I need to be doing something, and I feel bad if I'm not doing something, even if it's just like cleaning in the house or cooking or going grocery shopping, doing errands, organizing stuff, and like I don't know. Sometimes I internalize that guilt of just sitting still and kind of. Well, I think there's something to be said. It's not good to just doom scroll Instagram or doom scroll social on your phone. I feel like I definitely have been doing that a lot now in my free time. It's not productive in terms. It's not a value add to your life in terms of relationships. I could be hanging with my friends or my family or whoever, making new connections instead of just scrolling. So to be critical of myself, I think that's something I can improve on. But yeah, man, I don't know how people can talk for like an hour on these kinds of formats. It's kind of crazy. Like, like I don't know. I feel like a man of few words. I don't really have that much to say. But yeah, this is my first mukbang. A little bit discursive in thought, but if you like this content, if it resonated with you, if you're going through the same stuff, like kind of late 20s gang, early 30s gang, looking for love in all the wrong places or the right places, but having no luck, or just dealing with kind of the stresses of adulthood, feel free to leave a comment, subscribe, like for more. Let me know if you like this content. I'll try to come up with more of these down the line if it's liked by the audience. But yeah, that's my mukbang, and yeah, hope everyone has a good rest of your day, night, afternoon, or wherever you are. And this is Foodie Jules, Mukbang Jules, Foodie Jules, signing out.